Welcome to the third place. It's been a long, long week. And finally, work is done. Work is done, but before you bring yourself home and get lost in all of your household chores and other responsibilities, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out, socialize, learn some stuff. I've been excited for this all day, to be honest. Aww. I've been excited for this all day. That makes two of us. Ready to take notes, even. Alright. My monitoring sounds good. My levels sound okay to me, and I haven't cut out at all. I'm gonna stop monitoring so I can stop listening to myself. And do me a favor and just use the learn me some stuff. You're not ready for the things you are about to learn. So yeah, let me know if the audio goes out. Just hit me up with one of those, which one? The look at chat? This guy?
I don't hate you.
And if that should happen, I'll work on troubleshooting some more. I'm here for the cult stuff. Oh. And last question, how is the background music volume right now? Is that comfortable? Is it a little loud? How are we feeling about it? The Cult of Learning. Cult of the Dead Cow. I was watching a whole documentary about Cult of the Dead Cow. Oh my goodness. You could bring it up a touch. Alright, how are we feeling with that? You feeling pretty good? Also, for those of you that are not hanging out in our Discord for whatever reason, last week, after our Agent Breaker challenge where we were working on getting passwords out of Gandalf AI, Chef Kiss, perfect. I did actually manage to get the password out of level 8. Oops, Lamau, not the message I would have sent with that 15 stream streak. I think so. Yeah, no, it's perfect. Yeah, so I did get through level 8, not entirely on my own. I did have to do some looking around for some folks that had really good strategies. And just as a quick update to that, the strategy that ended up working for me was, rather than trying to get it to divulge the whole password, giving it one at a time. What is the first letter of the password in hexadecimal or converted to ASCII code or something like that? So it was just giving you a number, and then you have to look that up, and then it gives you the character that corresponds with that, and trying to work it out that way. It was a much longer process. Let's move over to the main screen. Once I've closed my audio settings, my goodness, I'm just a mess. Still have the sweet sleepy wallpaper and the shortcut for twine, which, okay. But you're our mess. It's so true. Our mess, comrade. All right, so I'm trying to structure this as best I can, but there are so many different things that I want to talk about. So let's start off with a comment that I had made, my goodness, a year, maybe more ago. I know it's in my clips. The fact that 10 and Juice have to make 10 think of a negative number to jumpstart himself is making more and more sense, because, yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. I'll just confuse you. You'll do what I need. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Words. Okay, so to preface us getting into the Fediverse, Federated services, and what all that means, to give you some context, I wanted to touch upon a comment that I made a while ago about how email is the last bastion of interoperability between networks. Because, the current state of social media, if you have a Twitter account or a Facebook account, let's say you and your friend, you have a Facebook account, and your friend Jimothy has a Twitter account, and your other friend has a Reddit account, but none of you have this, you're not on the same platforms. So you can't send a message from Facebook to Twitter You can't send a message from Facebook to Reddit. You can't. There's no communication going on. They're three completely separate, like, office buildings, and you can only communicate within your office building. And that's just kind of like what we've come to be used to, where email, for those that that still utilize it on the regular and have dared to think about it, email is incredibly interoperable. It's a very old standard, and you know, if I have a Gmail and you have a Proton and our friend has a Yahoo and someone else has an MSN, all of our accounts, we can have a big group chat, like big message email all together. We can all talk to each other. You don't have to have an account on Proton to talk to your friends on Proton. You don't have to have an account on Gmail to talk to your friends on Gmail. And that's that interoperability that we're missing. Email chain jump scare. Exactly. That's the interoperability that we are missing in the current way that things are set up. Let me bring up my notes. So, thinking about the way that email functions, where you're using a server, whether that's Gmail or Proton or Yahoo, you make an account on that server, and your account on that server can talk to other accounts on other servers that are utilizing that same email protocol. Send this email to 10 friends or the Tootsie Tickler will get you. The music is now a bit loud. I can take that down. There's no real consistency going on in the audio level for these. Let's try Night Ride FM and see if that's a little more consistent. It might be a little more oomph. What about Space Synth? Ooh, that's real upbeaty. Let's put that down here, though. Yeah, some songs are crazy. Some songs just be like that. So, when it comes to interoperability, let's talk a little bit about where social media is at presently and where it came from. Press 1 in chat if you grew up with a MySpace account or you had a MySpace account. Because that was me. I had a MySpace account. And I brought up this article. This is my one. Yeah. Yeah, so if you grew up with a MySpace account and then they started having the switch over to Facebook when everyone started like, oh no, leave your MySpace and come to Facebook. The problem there was that all your friends are on MySpace. The reason that you're there is because all your friends are there. And as we know from anyone who's tried to leave Facebook, trying to get all of your friends to migrate from one place to another in a collective effort is just a nightmare. And now I got to drop. I'll check out the VOD this coming week. Static, love you. Take care of yourself. And stay sane, my dude, as best you can. Being a teenage girl with teenage girlfriends and our boyfriends, we would start wars over our top 8s. Honestly. Your boyfriend was your number 1, your best friend was number 2, and that was absolute crime. Yeah. Our friendships were destroyed over the top 8. So part of what happened in the early days of Facebook as they were working on migrating people, how do we get folks? The kids are screaming Final Fantasy right now. Toodles. Tell them that Uncle Proxy says hello. Hello, minibar and microbar. So in order to get folks to switch, Facebook utilized, let me zoom in a little bit here, or not. You know, not is an option as well. So this is an article from 2010. The service will now allow users to log in via their Facebook accounts, effectively allowing any of Facebook's 500 million members to use all of MySpace's features without having to register first. So this was sort of like an interoperable bot that would work between people on Facebook and people on MySpace. So like you could sign up for Facebook and not have to leave your friends alone on MySpace. You could still send them messages and see the updates and whatnot, but you're doing so from Facebook, which makes it a lot easier when, you know, you can migrate to Facebook and then slowly your friends start migrating over. But this is the sort of thing that now would probably land you prison time if you made anything that could be interoperable with Facebook and did back to them what they did when they started up in the first place. So I just wanted to bring that into it. So Facebook, Twitter, all kind of locked together. The closest you see to interoperability now is like where Meta owns Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, so you kind of have that one unified Meta account. And like for a while, Facebook Messenger would work across Instagram. That's something, but that's still anything, like it's still locked into the Meta ecosystem. By the time Facebook opened to everyone and not just college kids and became a little more mainstream in like 2009, 2010, mostly everyone I knew migrated and completely ditched MySpace. Not even deleting, just leaving it behind like fossils that are now gone. They are now gone because MySpace became like a music streaming platform after Tom sold it, and I haven't really paid much attention to it since then. But don't worry, we're going to loop all the way back around to that in a little bit. So the issue with present social networks is that our social media is they're all kind of locked in to, you know, you have to be on X platform. I had a moment this week where one of my coworkers found something funny and I wanted to send it to Static. So I was like, yo, can you send that to me? And he said, yeah, what's your Insta handle? And I was like, I am not on Instagram, actually. And he was like, you're not, how do I send this to you? I was like, bro, screenshot it and then send it to me that way. Like, look, those of us without the Insta, we find ways to get by, all right? Nature finds a way. Account was somehow purged long before that, and I was actually sad because I know I had a few pictures of little teenage me that never be seen again. Appears I'm stuck becoming smarter by watching the stream. Oh no. Yeah, so the current status of things is just that there's not really any interoperability, and as we saw in the early 2020s, you get a platform like Twitter, which, to be fair, was kind of a garbage platform to begin with, but it was something. I was actually starting to utilize it for a little while in like 2012, 2013, 14, as Yeah Dude was starting. And then it got bought, and it became, we became X's, and now it's a bigger dumpster fire. It's almost a landfill fire at this point. But like the people who were there and liked it as Little Blue Bird site, just, you don't have a choice. The platform has been purchased. Whoever owns it now is going to make all the decisions. You just kind of get dragged along with that. What are you going to do? Leave? Go somewhere else? You see the same thing with Tumblr. Tumblr used to be like the social platform for fandoms. It was by and far my favorite platform of all the single platforms that existed. By far, my favorite place to be. Gets bought by Yahoo. Yahoo says we're getting rid of all the adult content. Mass exodus of any NSFW artists gone. And then that husk gets bought up for like pennies on the dollar by I forget which company bought them, but they get bought up by another company. And there is talk, I don't know if they've actually done it yet. Here, we're gonna do some ducking together. What was I gonna do? Tumblr and Activity Pub. Activity Pub on Tumblr. There's a Reddit thread. Around 10 months. This is 3 years ago. Yeah, Tumblr had announced back in 2024 that they were going to shift over to using Activity Pub, which is the next thing we'll talk about in a minute here. Oh my god, yes, I remember when I could scroll all the way to where I left off the previous day. No ads. Incredible, right? Boop. Said boop. Anyway, so Activity Pub. Before we get into that, I did want to bring attention to this because I don't know where everyone, AOL, I don't know where everyone draws the line as far as when it's time to leave a social platform. For me, If I hadn't had my line drawn already, this would have been it. This is pulled directly from the hateful conduct section of Meta's policies. Basically getting into what you can and cannot post for hateful content. And just explicitly written in here, we do allow allegations of mental illness or abnormality when based on gender or sexual orientation, given political and religious discourse about transgenderism and homosexuality, and common non-serious usage of words like weird. There's so much going on. Like, who else is digging this far in? Who else is... There's almost nobody out there, I guarantee it, other than like me and very interested parties that are digging through Meta's community standards. So that. What's ActivityPub? Let me make sure I'm following my notes here. So before we get into the Fediverse, there's one last thing I want to touch on, and that is the concept of enshittification, as talked about and I think pioneered by Cory Doctorow. I won't say pioneered by, but like defined by Cory Doctorow. The process for enshittifying your company comes in 3 stages. And I'm sure you can think back to how this all played out on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, so on and so forth. Step 1, be good to your users. Then all the people come up, like with Facebook interoperating with MySpace and being a place where you could just get a feed of all the things your friends were doing in reverse chronological order, so that you'd be able to stay up to date and know what's going on. You could talk to people, you could connect with people you knew. Be good to your users. Get them locked in. Step 2, once the users are locked in, shift to being good to advertisers. Bring in advertisers and companies, because now you've got all these users, you have all their eyeballs, they're all here, all their friends are here. Where are they going to go? Somewhere else? This is the best platform out there. But now we're selling it to the advertisers, the companies. They're going to pay us big money. We're going to rake in money. And yeah, it's going to be shitty for the people who have been here to chat with your friends, because now I'm just going to, post whatever up in your face. Thank you for reminding me that I do not have Bongo Cat up and running. I'm just going to move that over here. Allow me to launch thine Bongo Cat. I can't believe I forget. There's like a handful of things that have just slipped me today. It's been a very long day, and I apologize. Let me open up the Bongo lobby for anyone who would like to join. We are gonna create a lobby. We're gonna invite P-Bubs, because I just saw him start playing. He's the one that reminded me that I didn't have this up. I know better than to sign something I've never read, and yet I've never read a TOS or community standards. Don't even mind ads, because I know the rent is too damn high, but they need to be reasonable and not 1, interrupt what I'm doing, 2, open my browser or app store on its own. How is it not malware, dude? Chalkboard. That's a whole other... I'm gonna shift you over here. That's a whole topic that I would love to get into, because I have thoughts on mobile advertiser IDs to where we could have the Miley Cyrus, the best of both worlds. And it's fun because it is. Yeah, that's the fun part, is it is malware. You think about half the things today, the way that they integrate with things you don't want them to integrate with. If this was 1998 and you had something on your computer that was tracking what you were doing, we called that spyware. Now we just call it Windows Recall or Microsoft Keylogger. So fun to live in the future. Remember when it was illegal also for a commercial to be louder than the show you were watching? Now we just do not care. It's insanity to me. Okay, but I digress. Where was I? Social networks currently enshittification. So step 2, we bring in all the advertisers. The advertisers, things are good for them. People that run small businesses rely on your eyeballs. Now that we've got all the advertisers in here, step 3, completely enshittify. Once the advertisers are locked in, you claw back all the value for yourself and leave everyone stuck on your shitty platform. So, like, no one wants to be there. You're there because all your friends are there and there's nowhere else to go. The advertisers are there because their business may crumble without your eyeballs, but no one's actually getting to see anything. You have an algorithm that runs, here's what you want to see. You know what I mean? It's absolute asinine. I was literally just talking earlier about a podcast I had to listen to for school, and the guy layered his ad read over the guest while he was talking. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that was probably not intentional, and they just fluffed up somewhere in the editing software. But oh boy, what a nightmare! Regardless, so that's the enshittification process. So how do we avoid enshittification? You don't let one person hold all the keys. So here's our current centralized social networks. This is my little graph that I searched real quick. And then here's the Fediverse. So you'll notice that there's no connections here. It's a little misleading because, you know, Facebook and Instagram, they're in bed together. They're both meta. But like, you're not sending messages from Facebook to Twitter or Twitter to TikTok or TikTok to Instagram. There's no connection between these two. You in one, you're in one. Boom, that's it. Better get your friends there. Better use that platform. And then on the other end of things, you've got services like, I just see one big bed on the left. That is one big bed. It's a quilt of crap. And federated services, which is supposedly including Tumblr. I have to assume that that's a service that you would have to enable. Threads, for those that want, for some reason, to be in bed with Zuck, but also want to explore the Fediverse. Threads is an option. You do have to go into the settings in Threads and enable communications with the rest of the Fediverse. Otherwise, by default, you're locked into Threads. You can talk to other people on Threads, but that's it. But Threads, from my understanding, is essentially just built on a Mastodon server. Truth.social, if I recall correctly, is just a Mastodon server. Mastodon is your Twitter equivalent. PixelFed is your Instagram equivalent. PeerTube is your YouTube equivalent. And then Lemmy is your Reddit equivalent. And it's so wild how these things all kind of interoperate. So let's start down our rabbit hole for that. Press 1 in chat if you have used and were a fan of Twitter before it became X. Whether you used it because you liked it or whether you used it because you were doing the YouTube thing and needed to be able to connect with people, either way is fine. But for anyone that's spent any time messing around with Twitter, do you guys remember TweetDeck? TweetDeck was a third-party piece of software that would set up, you'd have multiple columns, and those columns would have different feeds. You could set them up and customize them exclusively for tweets from Stephen King. Oh man. Before they got wild, I'm sure. Or when they were a fun kind of wild. So, this is what Mastodon looks like. For your deck, as it were. This is essentially TweetDeck, but it's Mastodon. So I've got like my home feed, I have my notifications, I have my profile. I go back, home, trending, live feeds. You can see what's going on for things that are trending. So the thing with Mastodon, as is with most services that are federated, Mastodon as a platform, you can have, just about anyone can host a Mastodon server, like hosting an email server. So you get all sorts of different places on Mastodon, or different Mastodon servers all over the place. The network I'm on is up here in the top, cyberfurs.social. I went and just brought up a list. Let me see if I can find a good one. List of Mastodon servers. So there's usually a really good, all Mastodon servers and instances. And then you start going through and find a server. A lot of people are on just the mastodon.social. That's the general main server, which is fine. But that brings the same problem of now whoever controls that server is kind of picking and choosing what you do, and that's true of any server you join. But keeping folks on different servers and being able to move your account from one server to another, if something should, God forbid, go awry on Cyberverse Social, and the guy that runs it decides, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm shutting the server down. I think Hack13 is actually the server head. But, they decide that the server's going to shut down, or they make a rule where they're like, we've decided we're locking everyone in and no one is allowed to associate with anyone outside cyberverse.social. I can migrate my account. I can download my account, including my followers and posts and so on and so forth, and migrate that over to a different server. The two things I think that confuse people a lot when we're talking about federated services, on a platform like Twitter or Instagram, you have your @ name. Like, I am @proxy. Very similar to how on Twitch I'm @TechDaddyProxy_YDG. This is not my full handle. In order to find me from whatever server you are on, you would have to search for @proxy @cyberverse.social. And see if it brings me up. Yep, that brings me. So if I were to just search, like, this person is proxy, proxy glitchcat @yif.life. There are all sorts of really, like, fun server names too. I spend a lot of my time in the furry space, so that's likely what a lot of the ones that are connected to me are going to be. But the fun part, I think, is going through and trying to find a server that you feel really suits you. Meow.social, another good one. They give you a little, like, description. Let's load some more instances, see what we can find. Let's see, LGBTQIA plus tech. Mastodon instances for tech workers, academics. I'm gonna click on that. Currently sign up is disabled while we work on the server growth. So clicking on it gives you the about the server, advanced info, how many users are on it. This one is not accepting new members right now, so we'll keep looking. Scholar.social. So there's all these different servers. You can join up for whichever one, whatever suits you. Yif.life. It's not what you think. Mastodon instance. Is an 18 plus only website. We are not strictly not safe for work oriented. General purpose Mastodon instance oriented towards, but not limited to, LGBTQA plus folks and furries. So on and so forth. So you read a little bit about the server, figure out if it's where you want to be, join the server, you'll make an account. There's a theme with federated services where you will not just sign up for an account, enter your username, automated service goes, cool, you're in, here you go. A lot of the services are actively reviewed by moderators of that server. So they'll have like a, why do you want to join this server? Not so much as a, are you going to be a good decision for us to have here? But kind of just as a making sure you're not a bot and that this is the right spot for you. So far, I have not been declined for any of the Fediverse services that I have applied for. So I've got my Mastodon account, and that's me here, proxy @cyberverse.social. And I can do all sorts of stuff from here. We're going to come back to this in a minute. Like to follow comedians and webcomic artists. Honestly, it's so good. And we'll get back to the thing that blew my mind. I'm going to walk you guys through the different services. And then we'll touch on a little bit about what makes the Fediverse so powerful. So, again, these are running on the open standard ActivityPub. You can think of ActivityPub kind of like in a similar vein to HTML. So someone is screaming internally, but more as this is the language that these platforms use to communicate to one another. And it's the standard that has been put forward. Blue Sky, for example, is not using ActivityPub. they are using the AT protocol, or AT protocol, which is also federated, but is far more... A lot of people pick on Blue Sky because they are essentially still operating under a centralized model, although their protocol is intended to be federated. The displayed picture here is very funny. I finally squinted enough to read the caption. Oh, fuck, marry, kill, which guy? Excuse me. So, this is on ActivityPub. Pixel Fed. I apologize, there is no dark mode for this yet. At least not that I have seen. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Yes. Oh, that's real good. I like that a lot. Okay, so there is a dark mode now. Thank goodness for my eyes. So Pixel Fed is your Instagram like. I prefer the @AT protocol, where I'm a big Star Wars robot with 4 legs. That is the better of the protocols, yes. This is your Instagram equivalent. So I've made an account at furryfandom.me through their Pixel Fed. So here I am at at furryfandom.me. I believe that's how that's situated. We'll find out in a little bit here. So, and this is the same idea. You got your likes, your comments. You can scroll through things people have posted. I only have a few that I'm following. Got notifications for people that follow you. It's pretty straightforward. And the thing with this being decentralized services is you can't, advertisers can't on this. You can't put ads on here. So I can create a new post, so on and so forth. That's your Instagram like. And Pixel Fed, same idea. We are going to list of Pixel Fed servers. Does bring me back to when I kept making forums on pro boards. Pixel Fed server directory. And this is the same idea, where there are 95 servers running Pixel Fed, so it's significantly less than what we're looking at for Mastodon. But it's ActivityPub. Advertisers can't. You can't. You would have to feed it from somewhere. And imagine a universe where everyone is running their own servers. Some of these servers are probably run out of people's bedrooms. Some of them are leased space in the cloud. Some of them are someone's server project they've got going on. Some people are probably building these in their garage. Like, they're all over the place. How would you serve ads to that? Anyway, so there's art servers, general, regional, adult, and uncategorized. I'm going to hit uncategorized. And this is the same idea. You start looking at servers that do different things. Preferably servers, all countries, sign up process, languages. I'm not going to filter by country, but I am going to filter by language because I can only read so many things. So like LGBT.earth, a Pixel Fed server, a welcoming server for the LGBTQIA+ community, providing a safe, private, and inclusive platform. And let me grab some details on that. You'll get what they are, how many users, how many posts, primary language, when they were established, location, and what category they are. You got some of the posts that are on there. 1.2 thousand people have joined and shared over 394 posts since January 2025. Community guidelines, they list their community guidelines over hither. And if all of that stuff jives with you, allowed file types, max photo size, max photos per album, max caption limit. And this is all stuff that the server owner will situate. So you find a server you like, same idea. You apply to join the server. Gotta go back a page. And apply to join. You'll fill out the form for that. That gets sent off to the server moderators, and in as soon as a few hours, as long as a couple of days, you're in. And then you can just pop over and enjoy things. So that is PixelFed. You have PeerTube, is the YouTube equivalent. Same idea here. The server that I'm on is exquisite.tube. They focus more on like educational and tech related things, and that seemed to be where I wanted to fit, which is why I'm over here. They have limitations to video uploads. They have their own rule set. The thing that is, I think, currently holding PeerTube back is twofold. One, if you want to live as a, like be a YouTuber and make a career as a YouTuber, content creator for the internet, PeerTube does not have anything built into it the way that YouTube does to monetize. It also has, like I said, limitations for upload size. So there are some restrictions. The thing I think is really cool about it is you can opt so that if I'm watching Sandra Bullock as Kermit Shrink and Ra is also watching Sandra Bullock as Kermit Shrink and Static is also watching that video, it can function effectively the same way that torrents function, where there are 3 of us running this video, so we'll share bits and pieces across the peer-to-peer connection so that it runs better for all of us. I don't know how effectively that works, but that is... Wait, that sounds like a funny video. I mean, they've got the original Square Hole. Square Hole! Let's actually poke that, though. Whoa.
Please come in, Mr. Frog.
Ah.
That'll be $100.
But I haven't said anything yet.
Yes, you did, just now.
Okay, well, I'll pay on the way out.
Then it'll be $150. Please, have a seat.
Here?
Yes? So what seems to be the problem?
Well, Doctor, I see these strange creatures every time I say the word, phenomena. Phenomena.
Nope. Anyway, yeah, so same idea as YouTube. The other thing I think it suffers from is a lot of folks have pointed out that a lot of the videos on PeerTube are videos about the federated services and about PeerTube. We need stuff on here that's not that. You know, like the original Square Hole.
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
Yes. Okay.
And how about this rectangle? That one
Also the square.
that goes in there too.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got this thin rectangle.
The thin
Can
rectangle.
you guess where that goes?
The thin rectangle.
That's right. It goes in the square hole. And up next, a cylinder.
The circle.
I think that goes in
The circle.
the square hole. Now, we've also got this semicircle right here. Do you see a slot that would fit
The semicircle.
semicircle?
The semicircle.
That's right. It's the square hole. Okay.
I
Up
forgot how
next,
enjoyable this
The
is.
triangle. We know what hole that goes
The
into,
triangle.
right?
Triangle.
That's right. The square hole. And up next, we have the arch.
The arch. The
And
arch.
you guessed it.
The arch.
It goes in the square hole. This is a rectangle.
Oh god, there was a second one. Anyway, so there's been a second Square Hole. At any rate, that is your look into PeerTube. It is, I think, by far the least flashy, well adapted. I'm not sure how to put it. I don't want to say that it doesn't do what it does very well, but it feels very much like Metacafe from ages back. It feels like early YouTube. Do I have channels that I follow? It's me. I have a channel. Don't follow me here because I don't have any videos. What if we discover? That's where we were. What if I go home? Exquisite Tube. Oh, excuse me. Of all the specifically shaped pieces, all fitting into the square hole is what it feels like to exist in the world with autism, and I can't explain why. One thing that Jenny Lawson did/does for the last 15 years is she sells her ad space to other vloggers or other creatives within her community, and I think that is maybe the only moral way to run ads without running ads. At that point, at what point are you not running ads? You're just creating a web ring where you're linking to other creative folks. Just let that one sit. Anyway, moving on from PeerTube, because I don't really know what else to say about them except that they function on the same idea, but this is where you would go if you want to find video stuff. Lemmy. There is... Lemmy is Reddit on the Fediverse. Again, you find a server. I'm on pob.social, so a lot of the stuff that pops up, I have like from Lemmy Today, Lemmy World, things that are going on, TechCrunch, from Lemmy World. So things that have been posted to the Lemmy World server pop up here, lemmy.wtf. It works similarly to Reddit, where there are sub-communities, but those communities get a little bit like this: technology at Lemmy World, and Linux memes at lemmy.world. Programmer humor at programming.dev. So they're all coming from different servers and different categories. So you could find a programming humor at programming.dev and potentially a programming humor at a different server. But you follow the ones that you like. I'm actually going to leave that one here because I want to know if I can find that as well. Actually, no, I want something a little easier. We'll do technology at lemmy.world. So these are my 4 federated services. The thing that blew my mind right before we got on stream, and I'll exemplify this with, let's find someone on, let's go Terrence Foxfur. So this is PixelFed for the furryfandom.me and the account Terrence Foxfur. If, let's say I want to follow this account, I just copied the URL, I want to follow this account, but all I have is a Mastodon account. So I paste their URL in here. There he is. And I can follow him through here. I click on the account. It's going to give me pretty much the same series of posts, just formatted for Mastodon. Like how there's 1 million Am I the Asshole subreddits. Yeah, exactly. This is the piece that blew my mind. Because now, if you want to have, say, a Mastodon account, but also follow people on PixelFed, but also follow people on, that was the thing I wanted to check, is can I follow a POB social? So let's say technology at lemmy.world, and see if that comes up. The most excellent place for technology news and articles. $50 posts. No posts here. So it doesn't, excuse me, does not understand how to decode that. The basic gist here is when you're working in ActivityPub, you have, it's essentially just sending the raw blank data of, here's a post. Here's the text for that post, the image for that post, comments on that post, tags for that post, likes for that post, and it just sends all that to the server. And when people go and try to find you, they're sending out a request from Mastodon, PixelFed, wherever they're at, and it goes, okay, give me that information back. And then that gets formatted in a manner for the platform you're on. So by searching for Terrence the Fox on Mastodon, it pulls up their PixelFed account, and I can follow them. We can be PixelFed buddies. They can follow me. So what that looks like from the other end, let me hack 13. Let's find hack 13 on PixelFed. Go back here. Hack 13 at cyberfurs.social. There they are. And now it's going to take that information of the profile, the likes, the posts, any images that go with those posts, and it's going to sort them into a format that works with PixelFed. So now I've essentially got this Instagram feed that ought to be effectively the same as what they've got going on. Of course, there's also boosted. So boosted on Mastodon is essentially your retweets or reblogs, but it's boosted because you're giving it a little bit more reach. Let me see if I can just sort this down to their posts. Posts and replies. Let's go media. So, this is media that they've posted. Media that they posted. It's really just how it translates the images, text, and other information that's coming from wherever you're hosting your account, whatever server that is, and pulling it over here to whatever platform you're searching from. That's the thing that I was trying to figure out a while ago, which was, hey, I already have a pretty reasonably established Mastodon account that I utilize every now and then. Can I just follow people from PixelFed? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. But that also makes things a little difficult, because not only when you're signing up for a service that's federated like this, do you have to select a server, make an account on that server, and now you have, you know, the server appended to the end of your username. You also have to find other people that are on other servers that you want to follow. So let's see, Cyberpunk Librarian. I follow him, but he comes up on a few different places, and I happen to know that, let's see, glamour.us. Librarian at, I'm trying to remember exactly which server he said he was on. Mastodon.social. Okay, so these are probably different accounts, because this is a Lemmy account. Mastodon. Sharky. Sharky.cyberpunklibrarian.nohost.me. Oh lord, finally paying their way, I see. Oh wait, I think the cat just caught a bug. Nice. Finally contributing. And so I am also wondering now, we're going to try this with someone. Let's go Fool Bazaar. No, I'm actually not going to go Fool Bazaar because, I'm sorry, your AI artwork bothers me. Pure Berine. Let me copy your handle and see if I can find you. Main channel, 0 followers. See if we can find their one video. One post. No posts here. Okay, so this is another instance of it doesn't want to communicate. But I think I might actually start following some folks that are on PixelFed from Mastodon. Or maybe I'll do it the other way around. Because I really, really like the Instagram concept. And I hate that they ruined Instagram. Sorry, all the talking dries my throat out. So that's the big fun back and forth. I'm gonna get off of Tube, Lemmy. One post, no posts. Yeah, I have some more digging to do into that. And as a reminder, this is kind of a quick and dirty beginner's guide based on my understanding of the Fediverse. There are plenty. If this is something that actually like strikes an interest for you and something that you want to delve into more, there is so much on like YouTube and other forums that you can search that are just, they get so much more in depth with how the protocol functions and other things that you can do. I made my Mastodon account when? Back in 2023, just to get an idea of like what is a Mastodon. Obviously Elvis Presley. Oh, the other thing I should talk about is, so there's stars for favoriting things. Those, I've been using them a little bit like you would with likes, but on Mastodon there are effectively no likes. You can favorite stuff, and you can reply to stuff, and you can boost or quote stuff. Bookmark. Yeah, all sorts of options. But this just works as a favorite. It lets the person that posted it know that you favorited it. I've been treating them like likes, to be completely fair. I see we're picking up some weird frequencies. Yeah, and there's my chat about my coworker asking about my Insta handle. There's some just such good art. So many good things. I'm mostly just killing time at the moment until our transmission hijack is over. Get ready with your emojis.
Mission completed! We space riders were victorious! Our planet rejoices in welcoming back our hero conqueror!
And we're back. I like the crabs. Krebs. So yeah, there's just, of the accounts that I have, I think I like my Mastodon account the most. Just because I've been on it for a while. When I joined cyberfurs.social, the moderator and owner of the server messaged me. Well, you said, and we're back exactly when I put my headphones on. Welcome back. Did they catch and bug? I need to bring up my, I had a very fun image that is unfortunately not going to share because I saved it to on my notes to self on the Signal chat. If they did, they eated it. Oh, geez. So before we continue onward from our discussion about the basics of the Fediverse and Federated services, what they are, how to join them, how to find people on them, and how they operate in and amongst each other, an important distinction needs to be made that lives rent-free in my head now. Or I have to burn down my entire town. Oh no. Don't do that. An important distinction needs to be made that lives rent-free in my head, and I want to share it with you guys so that it can also live rent-free in your head. And that is the difference between a social network and social media. So the short definition, social networking, the act of networking, meeting people, making contacts, socializing, building relationships. Social media, defined as broadcasting to an audience, mostly one-way communication, preys on parasocial tendencies. I'm going to read that one more time because this really sunk in and sat with me. Social networking, the act of networking, meeting people, making contacts, socializing, building relationships, versus social media, broadcasting to an audience, mostly one-way communication, preys on parasocial tendencies. So that's kind of like your Instagram. You're there, you follow people, like their posts, mostly one-way interactions. Whereas social networking, more of like what you would think of, for lack of a better example, like Discord. It bothers me a little bit, just how much Discord actually is what I want out of a really good social network. I sat down one day and I started going through the different things that I would include if I was building a social network. Like, I want to be able to communicate with people. I want to build a profile. I want to be able to link that profile to other places, like my Steam account so I can make Steam friends. I want to be able to have direct messaging. And I want to be able to be in communities and chats and add on to that, like, fun profile customizations and things like that. You made a video. You could say you made a video. And people calling literally anything they make content isn't helping. Yeah, no, for real. I hate the vibe of content creators and social media influencers. Both of those make me gag a little bit. They're just, no, stop. There's a whole, we're gonna sidetrack real quick here, just because it fills me with such glee. Sam Newton, content creator. The content creator anthem by Sam Newton has to be one of the most self-aware bits of cinematic music video goodness. Here, we're gonna enjoy this together. And I'm going to preface this because it bothered me for a while. It doesn't bother me as much anymore. But Sam Newton spends a lot of time dunking on Nikon, and he admits in his vlogs, like, he literally just picked it arbitrarily. He has nothing against Nikon, but he's like, I figured it would be fun to just like pick a thing and kind of dunk on it. But I would like to clarify that Nikon makes some of the best glass in the camera biz, period. They made the glass for Canon for years before Canon could make their own glass. So put some respect in your tone for Nikon. That's it. That's all I needed to say. But this just, please enjoy this with me. It's so good.
Yo, man, so the other day, I was hanging with this girl, right? And she called me a filmmaker. Yo, this is what I said. No, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a content creator. No one knows what that means. I got my ripped black jeans and my life couldn't be greater. No, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a content creator. No one knows what that means. I got my ripped black jeans. I'm traveling around the equator. Yeah. Cause I'm a content creator. What do? Man, I create content. I film dope shit and I use music without consent. I'm working with brands, look at me.
I'm just going to say it's going to be really funny if this gets like a copyright strike for having this song in it when I end up porting it to YouTube later. Listen, Sammy, Mr. Newton, I use music without consent.
I'm in this poster, did I make any money? Well, I did it for exposure, yeah. Video called Teal Orange, I travel so much and I'm feeling foreign. This is a palm tree, that was an eagle soaring. My life is never boring, my shit's original. Hand placement is pivotal, always keep it subliminal. I love you, Sam Calder. My content is digital, I make people feel miserable. I Photoshop all my visuals, I'm all about that money, so my sponsors stay visible. I'm not a filmmaker, I'm a content creator. No one knows what that means. I got my ripped black jeans and my life couldn't be greater.
It gets a little
I'm
too
not
real as we go along.
I'm a content creator. No one knows what that means. I got my ripped black jeans. I'm traveling around the equator. Yeah. Cause I'm a content creator. You heard that right, I'm a content creator. I'm living in a screensaver, I'm standing on a skyscraper. You wanna be like me? Go and grab some old denim. You see those jeans? Go and cut some holes in them. Go to Iceland, stand under a waterfall. Go to Bali, stand under a waterfall. Go to Dubai, grab some sand, let the breeze blow. You'll look dope as hell long as them knees show. I'm taking photos in Mykonos, that's in Greece, babe. Look at this blue ass water, tiny meat gang. You wanna know how I live like this? I'll make you feel like shit, and then I sell you some stuff.
So I heard you wanna be the man. I do. Get out your camera, boy, and film your hand. Wait, what? I heard you wanna kill it on the gram. Yeah. Well, get out your camera and film your hand. Or should I learn about lighting? Fuck that, just film your hand. Should I plan out my videos? Fuck that, just film your hand. What about the storyline? Nah, fuck that, just film your hand. Well, I can backflip. No, yeah, that one's important.
I'm not a filmmaker, I'm a content creator.
So yeah, that's the gist. The song lives rent free in my head. It's so good. Get rid of that. So yeah, the difference between social media, social networking, the sad realization that Discord is what I want out of a social platform, but it falls victim to the same shortcomings of any other non-federated social platform. I cannot start my own Discord server hosted on bare metal in my home. I can't prop up a Discord server that will continue to exist even if Discord the company shuts down. In the event that something should go horribly, horribly wrong with Discord, or the platform shouldn't shitify and we are now locked behind, give us your ID or you're not going to be allowed to talk to your friends. There is nothing that I, as a user, or as someone who has created and hosts a community on that platform, can do about it. And that sucks. That is why I lean towards federated services or any other anything that I can, honestly. If a Discord equivalent comes up that is also federated, I'm going to be on that like white on rice on a paper plate with a glass of milk in a snowstorm. It'll unfortunately be the sort of thing where I'm not going to migrate everyone over to it. I don't want to like, hey, I'm doing this so everyone else has to go. But I want it set up. I want it situated so that when things do shitify with Discord hard, to the point where there is a mass exodus and people leave, we have a place to go. Content creator is also so vague. Maybe that's part of the point for some of them, but I'd rather be able to list myself as like filmmaker and podcaster and short form video creator and writer instead of just, I make stuff that you'll boredly consume while eating mac and cheese and forget about forever. Yeah, there's no staying power to a lot of it. It's unfortunate. I heard someone the other day in a YouTube video I was watching talk about our crisis of attention span and how they found themselves almost bragging about how they were able to watch an entire hour-and-a-half movie without once looking at their phone. And then they realized what a sick world this is. As long as big group chat is possible, I'll follow you bastards anywhere. That's why I keep my eyes open for such things. That's why I checked out Stoat. I think actually Matrix is is Matrix federated? Hang on a minute. What a sentence to type in. Matrix.org. Matrix is Federated Communication Protocol. Okay, so Matrix is another protocol. So it's like not on Activity Pub kind of deal. It is its own protocol. But I've heard a lot of things about Matrix, but it is, from what I'm told, an absolute biznitch to set up. Moving on from there to the back half of our conversation, which is social media that's actually fun to use. It's hard because I've always been a TV is on and I'm watching, but I'm also playing a Game Boy person. But the phone is such a different beast. When I'm watching a movie, I try to only pick up my phone if I have a very urgent IMDb thought that I know I will forget about if I wait. Yeah, honestly, that I've tried to start delaying my response to, hey, my phone made a noise, I better pick it up immediately. There's that weird culture shift, and anyone that's been around, I'm totally derailing the conversation, and I'm not sorry about it. Anyone that's been around since the days of instant messaging, like AOL Instant Messenger, Yahoo Instant Messenger, welcome to the beginning of the separation, because like you had to have weird crossover services in order to chat between like AIM and Yahoo. It wasn't something you could just do natively. I had, what was the service? I think it was like Trilogy or Trinity or something. That you could log into your Yahoo account, AIM account, MSN account, and essentially just have one piece of software with all your friend lists. I digress. The culture around instant messaging was so vastly different from what it is now with our always on culture. Yeah, I would log on to AOL Instant Messenger, I would see who's online, and go, hey, they're online. That means they are sitting in front of their computer. They are sitting there, they are waiting, browsing the web, probably checking up on their Neopets. And if I message them, they will see it. I mostly talk to my buddy Nate. Not the Nate that y'all know from Yeah Dude, different Nate. But I mostly messaged him just back and forth. But that was always this sort of like, oh, they're not online. I guess I can't talk to them right now. I'll try and catch them later, or I'll send them an email or just a message and they'll respond to it whenever they get online again. They'll respond to it whenever they get online again. And I will receive their response whenever I get online again. And that was okay. There was no feeling like, oh, my buddy just messaged me and I need to respond within 5 minutes or I'm a shit friend. And I don't think anyone explicitly says that to each other. Like, I don't say to any of my friends, like, hey, if you don't respond to me in 5 minutes, what the hell, dude? Are we even friends? But we all kind of feel that pressure. That pressure to be just always on, always responding, be on top of everything. What if it's important? And there's an importance, I think, to establishing in your life with the people that you care about. If there is something that is urgently time-sensitive, very important, life-threatening, whatever it is, call me. And I will treat every phone call from you as though it is an emergency. Even if you're just calling to be like, hey, I'm at the store, do you need milk? You know, but that is time-sensitive. You ain't got the time if you're browsing around the store and you're like, oh, I forget if we're out of coffee, to like, well, I guess I'll message, and if he gets it, then cool, but I'm going to be waiting around the store doing laps until he gets back to me. Like, no, just call me. Just call. If it's a message, I'm going to assume that I have time, a reasonable amount of time to respond. If you were online and you chose to appear online, you were available. Yeah, the only reason a message should be urgent is when it is actually urgent. But if you're like, how was your day? Like, I'm shitting right now, so I'd be 5 minutes to think about it. I feel like I've perfected the art of reading as much as possible in the notifications so that I can triage my response time. Yeah, a little bit the same. I've had to take, and I don't know if it would be worth doing a full episode of The Third Place. Hang on, I'm gonna bring y'all in close. I don't know if it would be worth doing a full episode of The Third Place on settings for your smartphone and the way that I'm currently setting everything up and how I'm slowly over time tailoring it, or if that's something that just no one is interested in but me. But I also don't know, because it's not something that I sit down and chat with people about. I don't know how many other people go in depth with their notifications to, like, Android will let you put notifications as silent, where they won't bing your phone, they won't vibrate, but they'll still pop up in your notification bar. And I have that for most things, like email. There is not a single email I have ever received that was like, oh no, if I don't respond to this, none that weren't clickbait anyway. Clickbait or chainmail. Chainmail, that's what I was looking for. So like, my email does not need to ping me. I don't need my phone going off. But I would like, if I'm sitting down and I go to look at my notifications, I want to know that I got an email so I can, you know, pull it down, read the notification. Do I care? Do I trash it? Is this important? Am I interested? But that way they sit there and they wait for me to come to them. They're not yelling at me for my attention. Chat apps, Discord, Signal, text messaging, which I rarely ever even touch anymore. There's 1 or 2 people in my life that still text. But I digress. Like, those notifications do come up. They do buzz my phone. They do ba-ding. And then I assume that I'll get to it whenever I get to it. I'm not in a huge rush. It's only when my phone rings that I'm like, oh shit, I need to look at this now. And sometimes it's not important, but you know. But I've done a lot to tailor my notifications. Anytime I install a new app, I'm like, does it really need to be notifying me of things? I literally only have Signal for you, and I appreciate you for it. Pascal also has Signal. P-Bubs has Signal. Annabelle has Signal. My parents are on Signal. P-Bub's family's on Signal. Like, we're all on Signal. And I recommend, if you're able to get people to join you on it, do. I got my uncle on it recently because I was explaining to him where I'm at with, like, my privacy and cybersecurity journey and my, you know, with everything going on in the world. The last thing I want is my parents or any other member of my family, so like my uncle, to get scammed, because they're the kind of loving and caring family that if someone were to rip my voice, make an AI model of my voice, and use that and spoof my number and all of the different tools and tactics that get used to message a member of my family and be like, act like me, be like, oh, it's an emergency, I need money, like, they're the type of people that would absolutely bend over backwards and drive themselves into the ground to help family. And I don't want that to happen to any of my family members. So I let them know, like, it is important to me that we have a secure, established line of communication, which Signal will let you verify each other. You have a verification number that you can check off on both ends of the conversation to say, yes, this is me on my phone talking to you on your phone. And if you get a message and it's from my name and my account and my profile, but it's not verified, then either I have got a new phone or that is not me. And in the event that I get a new phone, I'm telling you about it, because I know that that's a thing. So usually when I let family know, like, hey, these are the reasons that I'm doing this, and I want to set a secure, end-to-end encrypted line of communication with you that I can verifiably know, if you get a message from this device, it is me. If I get a message from that device, it is you. That tends to be enough. That got my parents on board, that got my uncle on board, and I think I'm the only one that's on there for him too, so wouldn't mind having a discussion about notifications. It seems like something I'd rather talk in real time about, though. Yeah, because it's so... I can't type fast enough to get my thoughts out. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you for bringing that up, because it is that time of evening. Fediverse... and social media live. Let's see. I don't. All right, I am in the Discord chat, the voice chat for the third place. If anyone wants to hop on voice, you're more than welcome to. That's what it reminded me of, is generally speaking at top of the hour, after my first hour of yapping, I want to start just popping into the voice chat and let anyone else that wants to join to chat in real time to do so. Literally told everyone I was leaving Facebook and Messenger, and if they wanted to talk to me, they had 30 days to reach out and find an alternative method of communication. You don't understand, like you do, but like most people don't understand the kind of mental freedom you attain by not being on that platform. It's insane to me. Dude, I've been trying to get 90% of the people I talk to switch from Facebook Messenger to just texting, and it's been a losing battle. Well, yeah, because there's so much. The part of the problem there, in my humble opinion, and it might not be, but part of the problem there is twofold. One, what do you mean I have to leave Facebook to do things? Everything is Facebook now. Because I've known people like that are just like, no, if I can't do it on Facebook, then it doesn't exist on the internet. And two, Messenger has so many different things you can do, like responding with GIFs and stickers and just all sorts of things that are built into it. Plus, a feature that wasn't introduced until recently with RCS, text messaging, the ability to get read receipts, to know that your message was delivered, to know when it was read, and all that, the stupid little things that are like, I won't want to call them quality of life, but that's kind of what they are. There's so many just more features to something like Facebook Messenger than there are to standard text messaging. And I don't know how many people are very familiar with RCS, Rich Communication Standard, which replaced SMS, the Simple Messaging Standard, or MMS, Media Messaging. RCS replaced all of it with its Rich Communications, which makes things a little bit better, and they tout end-to-end encryption. But, you know, it's... I won't trust anything that runs through the phone network because I know how absurdly easy it is to break. And it's a little bit too, when it comes to end-to-end encryption, if you imagine it like a secret tunnel through the mountain. One end is you, one end is your friend, and you're communicating, and no one can see into the mountain. Like, we're going to assume that no one's in the mountain. Like, just straight up. It's you and your friend, and you have a secret tunnel, and all your communications go through there, and they come out the other side, and they could not be intercepted. Even if you were able to take a chunk out of the mountain, you're not getting the conversation. You're just getting a chunk of mountain. The problem with things like WhatsApp and text messaging, or RCS messaging, is that you're still running an app that I don't know I can trust to receive those messages. And end-to-end encryption, so like WhatsApp, is based on the Signal protocol. They use the same encryption method. So they have the same securities between the two ends. However, on your end of the conversation and my end of the conversation, if we're both using WhatsApp, when we get the message, it decrypts with our key, and then that plain text is now being handled by WhatsApp. And Zuckerberg himself has said that client-side scanning removes the need for fancy quantum decryption. Because if I can get your message after it's been decrypted, I don't need to worry about the decryption. I don't need to try and break the encryption. That's why I like Signal. Signal has proven time and time again that they can be trusted. I digress. Too weird with my mom to be imitable, because I know she'd know immediately that, imitatable, that something was weird if I called her and said I needed bail money and gift cards or whatever. Yeah, you would hope. You would hope. I don't know what scammers be up to these days, but they are on one. Anyway, let's go back to our main screen. All right, we are gonna pop out of our Federated services, and I'm gonna mess around with this some more, because I love the idea of being able to have one app on my phone, whether that's PixelFed or Mastodon, and use that to follow whoever I want to follow. There's so many new entries. I miss things. How can I stop missing? We've talked about this platform before. This is our section on just social platforms that are fun. This is cyberspace.online, which the name on its own made me think maybe it was a Mastodon server. It's not. This is its own separate project created by Genghis Khan, or at least that's the name that he goes by. There's so much depth to this platform. If I go, let me see, can I go to, yeah. So cyberspace, it's social media de-imagined. Use your words. No ads, no videos, no algorithm, no suggestions, no tracking, no crypto, and no AI. It is a quiet corner of the internet where you can think, write, and read and connect, like how the internet was supposed to be. They have their netiquette, their FAQ, contact and support. This is supported by both one-time and recurring donations. I'm a little bit Genghis Khan. I want you to get it on, 'cause nobody else be. Nobody else be. I was just about to look something up related to what you were saying, because we switched to this, and now I can't remember. Curse this brain. What is this? Oh, they added a graffiti thing? Okay, so as this is going on, hey, someone's Purro. You in the furry guild? Is that what this is? Hell yeah. Anyway, so they've added a graffiti area, which I don't want to zoom in, I want to zoom out and migrate my way around. There's just a little like graffiti area, which kind of functions like place on Reddit. At least that's a little bit what it reminds me of. What is this? Impermanence zone. Anything drawn here may acquire hats and or mustaches, or may be otherwise modified by anyone. Embrace uncertainty. I mean, the whole board is this technically, but we're very considerate here, and don't go over others, so here's a dedicated free-for-all spot. Man, that's wild. And then there's all these different like things that I can put places. Oh, that's funky. Anyway, I'm not gonna mess with that. Essentially, if you're wanting to do social networking, you don't necessarily need to have real IDs linked to things. We got discussions, interests, forums. Forums. Oh, the forums I miss. Following, friends, watching. Let me just bring that out so I can actually see what things are. C-mail. I know Ra is on this one because I was there when you made your account. There, I posted the Genghis Khan, the Genghis Kongus in the big screen for you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, Genghis Kangus. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright, well I'm gonna check that out later. Anyway. There's so much going on here. There's live chats for different things. I'm gonna see if Tux Racer is not. Oh, there he is. He's on. Hello, Tux Racer. I just need to reload the page. And then in the grid, which is what I would what I brought up last time we were here perusing cyberspace online. In the dungeon and garden. I just want to know where I'm at on the leaderboard. Doing good. Jom has been working their way up the leaderboard, and I need to stop that. I need to make number go up, but I am still holding second place in Mushroom leaderboard, just behind Tux Racer. Unfortunately, the grid, as far as I know, does not function in Firefox. Or LibreWolf, in my case, which is the same thing. It's a fork of Firefox. We've got guilds, if you want to be part of a guild. Graffiti jukebox, where there's all sorts of musics. We're going to stop Night Ride for a minute. Chrono Wave. Hit me with it. And it brings up its own little like media player down here. With its own volume controls. 74 minutes. Fire Forks. Oh! Oh, that reached somewhere deep in me. Oh my. Well. Whoa. Dungeon Crawler Baller. 8-bit weapon. I do got bongo chest, you're right. It has led me to the duplicate. Ooh. I forgot how good 8-bit weapon was, honestly. It's been a little while. Yeah, so there's like, you can browse media. The thing I really like about this is I can go to anywhere. Like, I'll back to my feed, and that player just stays there. It doesn't go away because I've navigated away from the page. I can go into like IRC, idea chat. It's still there. Oh, hey, it's just me over here now. IRC, C-mail, Diet Cuke. Yeah, the song really does slap. And for the sake of Static, who will probably be watching this later, there is also one of my favorite features. And it is you. I'm going to pause that just because it's going to distract me. And we'll just... Back to Night Ride. The appearance. This is what really gets me, is the just ability to change. I'm not going to put it in light mode because it will ruin your corneas. But like dark mode just gives you a general dark mode. LCD is also a light mode. C64 is going to be a blue background, mind your eyeballs. So if you want it to look like an old C64 display. VT320 is orange. Matrix is what I usually use. It's that nice neon greenish. Poetry is another light mode. It just gives it... I am going to switch to this one, so mind your eyes. But it gives it more of a poetic... I don't know how to describe it, like text editor type vibe. Way too bright for me. Brutalist, which is a nice look. The Wikipedia. Brutalist. Grid. Crypt, which will give you that red, which is not bad on desktop, but it is an absolute nightmare on mobile. Bubblegum, if you want that. Oh god, I forgot it was bright. Very bubblegum. And then whatever your system is set to. Might actually go brutalist. The Dracula, exactly. So that's cyberspace.online. I've been very much enjoying this website. And it updates frequently. Honestly, there is a lot of support going on for this. And it fills me with glee. Now is the time. Bleh. The Dracula. Finally, we've made our way back around. Welcome to Space Hay. Let me refresh the page and see if it actually loads my profile pic. There we go. Welcome to Space Hay. Space Hay is a passion project, small independent social network funded by your donations. I have been waiting all night for this. I had to save the best for last. And I wanted to make sure we had enough time to like really just delve into this. Because there are some services, like I think it's Sky Space or something like that. Hang on, I'm tickle in the throat. There's, in the same way that the Fediverse and ActivityPub can translate data into different formats, whether you're looking at it from PixelFed or Mastodon. There are services that can take your Blue Sky feed and turn your Blue Sky feed into a MySpace format, which is kind of neat, but that's still functioning through Blue Sky. This is its own whole thing. And it feels so good. And there's no ads. You can get merchandise or you can donate, but there's no ads. I have blogs that I post here. In case you want to just read random musings. Like I've written these from my phone. And it's just like weird little thoughts and things. But I love it. Because I'm not posting these to generate content or to get people to like them. I also have random musings on my Space Hay. Oh, let's check it out. So I don't want to edit my profile. I want to view my profile. My profile. Windows Vista themed. I'm going to be completely honest. I just found a theme that was pre-built, copy-pasted the code, and just dropped it into my shit the way that one used to with Facebook. I keep all mine on Tumblr, but it's mostly just nonsense. I feel like most of my insane thoughts I end up saying out loud or to whoever's around. Ra, if you're still using Tumblr, at some point, would you mind assisting me in figuring out if Tumblr has access to the rest of the Fediverse? I want to know if they ever actually enabled ActivityPub. That's another thing for another time. I'm just super interested because if we can follow each other across networks, that'd be wild. You can check off Static Crowbar from that Who I'd Like to Meet. So I can. Nah, I'm gonna leave him there. We've met, but like... I've also met J. Michael Tatum. J. My Potato. And Greg Ayers. So, like, you know, there's a few people I can check off of there. We got Al. A.N. Ann is the creator of Space Hay. Photo evidence of that. Go to Al's profile. Check this schnit. Umbrella theme. Custom cursor? Yes, please. Right now... I think Al and I would just only have each other as friends because I'm not adding random people. I'm trying to add friends, but, you know. 20 years ago or so, we convinced everyone to leave MySpace in favor of Facebook, and trying to get them to migrate back is a nightmare. But if anyone wants to also make a Space Hay account, please add me. we are friends, and we can be friends on Space Hey as well. I love the just having your interests available, commenting on people's pages rather than just posting into a feed. Let's check out Al's blog. Oh man. First blog. Are you okay if we look at your blogs on stream, or would you rather keep them to yourself / make people join Space Hey? I will actually beg you to make a Space Hey. It tickles something deep in my brain. It's so good is the thing. And just the ability... Let me go home while I'm waiting on your answer. Oh, you can share one of my posts. Okay, I will momentarily. So there's like the cool new people. And I love how many people are just really living this MySpace vibe with their profile pics. There's like so many... Just like the MySpace pose... and I'm going to go ahead and guess that some of these profiles that have profile images probably also have custom backgrounds and custom profiles. Let's find out what other people are using. Okay. Well, way to prove me wrong. Thanks. Wow, okay. Somebody? Anybody. Somebody's got to have a cool custom profile. There we go. This is exactly what I would have expected from a scene chick with a drawn-on moustache. So, like, you can just have design vomit. Oh, no. Can I can't drag you. Oh. Sorry, this is bringing me back to, like... developing your own MySpace page. DeviantArt used to be great social networking. They had chats where at least somebody was always in a chat room, forums for a bunch of different topics. Your friends could post on your page and you could post on theirs. I used to love DeviantArt. I had so many friends on there. And by so many, I mean like 3. I deleted mine a couple years ago because I was ashamed at what 12 to 25-year-old me would have been posting, and now I regret it. I still have my old DeviantArt account. It's kind of a nightmare now, and I don't think I have any of my, like, the things that I saved. I'll have to do this when I'm on a computer, because I just know if I tried to do it on mobile, I'd get mad. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go back to my profile, and then Al's profile, and then Al's blog. Let's go deleting Facebook, because that seems really relevant. Today I finally did something that I've been wanting to do for years. Submitted the request to have my Instagram, Facebook, and Meta accounts deleted permanently. It's been a long time coming, and I finally found a way to separate myself from that toxic environment without feeling like I'm losing over 15 years of memories. I requested a download of all the data from my Facebook account, and now I have it all backed up on my hard drive. It's a bit of a shame. I have some good memories on the platform, and I remember the days when it felt like a welcoming, fun place to be. Hasn't been that way for a long time, though. I'm excited to try out new social platforms and connect with people on a more person-to-person basis. I'm feeling a little anxious about these accounts being suddenly gone. After all, there's a lot of history there. I think this is the right move, though, and I'm already feeling some relief from never being caught in the endless scroll again. There is also a Space Hey app, but it's another one of those things that I want to do at some point, which is press 1 in the chat if you're aware of how to add a web app to your phone. Like, not download the app from the App Store, but to use your mobile browser to create what is effectively an app, or just the web page sans everything else. So it acts like an app, but it's just running in your browser. C10. You and I can cover this tomorrow. It's real easy, real quick, and it will change your world. It's how I got Cyberspace Online as an app on my phone, and you can do the same thing with Space Hay. I don't think you can. Hold on, because sometimes it'll let you do it on Windows as well. More tools. No. You're an app. But so let's say I'll give you the quick rundown, the quick and dirty rundown for anyone interested. You would navigate to say spacehay.com. Now that I'm on my account page on my phone or tablet, honestly, you're an app because you be appetizing AF. Man, it's so annoying how refreshing a cold seltzy is. Honestly, though. So yeah, in your mobile web browser, you get to the page you're going to, you hit your little settings thing, and let me look at it on my phone so I can... I'm using Firefox, by the way, on my phone, but it should function the same if you're using anything Chromium-based. Please don't use Chrome. Please, for all that is holy, don't use Chrome. Get my little button. More. So in my options, for me, it has an option called Add to Home Screen. If I click Add to Home Screen, it puts an icon on my home screen for my phone that uses the favicon, this little guy up here, as the app logo, and I can change the name to just Space Hay. Chrome is out. She's a fugly slut who cannot be trusted. That one's good to me if I remember right. Love a good seltzy, especially the little kid ones. I had Unicorn Dreams earlier, and it was just as delightful as it sounds. Oh, I love those. Mermaid Kisses. It's just so good. The bitterness is what I have to get used to. I don't even notice it anymore, to be honest. But that could also just be from, the shitstorm that was COVID. But anyway, that's the gist of how to add a web app to your home screen for your phone. There are some browsers that don't support it. I know Firefox does. There is also, if you ever want to put something on your phone that is fun and easy to not have a history in, Firefox Focus is another really good, I just need to search one thing really quick and I don't need this being added to my permanent record. It's essentially Firefox, but completely stripped down, and it nukes everything when you close the app. So, you bring it up in running apps, you swipe it away, everything you were doing is gone. There's no history saved, no bookmark saved, no cookies saved, nothing. I can do that on my phone with Firefox, and it works great for Ellipsis, because they were like, why have an app when the web version works everywhere? Exactly! Ugh. But yeah, this is... I'm going to edit profile so I can remember where the heck I posted. It's one of those things, again, of it doesn't matter what box you posted in. Just that you're posting so much HTML. But it's also giving you a reason to learn CSS and HTML. Or at least enough so that you can be dangerous with it. Know what you're modifying. I'm not writing this crap from scratch. It's not happening. It's just not who I am. But knowing where you're going in here to find different things and go, oh, well, I actually want this to be this many pixels instead of this many pixels. And I want it to be this color. And I want this image to be used. But yeah, that's where my my profile information for the theme that I'm using is. And that's what makes it look like this. The hell did I have as waterboarded by content? Oh boy, that goes on forever. If you want to read my blog, you're welcome to. But I'm not gonna bother narrating it myself here. I don't need to stroke my own ego. And then, because there's not a whole lot more with Space Hay to go through. You can browse the layouts. Oh my god, can you browse the layouts? Let's see. View my profile. I don't want to share a new layout. I want to look at the layouts that exist. There we go. Now it's loaded. The scene core layout. Oh, can I... Using. Are you still using? Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Not still using, but... Oh, man, that's so cool. Oh. I'm gonna have to, like, show this to Annabelle, because... What a great... Everything. Noticing. I love music. Last active 2 days ago. There's so much happening. Spooked. As a bonus round for our last 10 minutes. Welcome to Gaia Online. A service I never actually used. Until P-Bubs and I signed up for an account. He said he was going to sign up for it, and then I was like, you know what? I haven't ever used it, so I don't know what all the hype was about. I lived on Neopets. And by the time Gaia was a thing, I was in Ragnarok online just as a whole separate game. So I didn't get to exist in this fun little middle space. I used this for 1 year in 2008 because my boyfriend used it, and I had an aquarium, and it was so fun, but it was so laggy on my laptop. Dark and light mode toggle. Cool. Ah, a daily gift. Gift claimed. Neat. Hey, here's my little dude. He's a bunny. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of options, really, for aminals. He's so cute. Hey, it's me, your Aisha. Please feed me and play minigames. Okay, added bonus round. My Gaia. Because I don't really know my way around Gaia as a whole. Because, again, it's not a service that I really utilized. So, like, someone's getting nostalgia from this. Unfortunately, it's not me. I was a Webkins kid. Oh, I unfortunately was just before Neopets. And hang on, what was it? Oh, what was the name of the game? Is it? No. Hang on. I need to bring this away for a second. Right. Give me 1 second, and I will bring it back over. Keep me logged in until I log out. Ugh. There we go. Okay. Whoop. Did not want to do that. Did not want to do that. There we go. So, Neopets. See if I can... I don't remember my old Neopets account. However... Oh, dear Lord. So here's another thing. We're going to circle back to Neopets in a second, because I want to end this on something specific. But also, if you were a fan of Neopets, might I suggest Furvilla? A handful of us were playing this when I was still working at Career Academy. So, like, I've got my active villager, which is Edit, me. That was it! Yeah, that's the one. And then, God, we've got basically all of my friends at the time have been added as more villagers. Let me just see my villagers. Yeah. Nikki, Static, Anabu, Malaya, Ra, Dustin, Squee. I don't have P-Bubs in here, and I think that might have been because he's got his own account. But I also don't know. It was weird times, my dude. Squee. Time to add soap. Oh, you're so right. I don't think I got far enough to have enough houses. I love all things mysterious. I'm studying potion crafting and looking forward to making my first one. This is very upsetting. The you not being on my list of villagers, or just the whole thing in general. No, don't be betrayed. No. I don't remember when it was the last time that we stopped playing. Because it may have actually been before we were together. Who are my friends? Oh, there you are. Oh god, yeah, 6 years and 11 months ago. I'm gonna go find you. Pre-bubs? God damn it. P-Bub's profile. Oh, well, heck. Well, I'll be crying myself to sleep tonight. Perfect. Just perfect in every way. Anyway. Listen. Oh, God. Ruined myself. HaveIBeenPwned.com. I have an account on Neopets from ages and ages ago that I desperately want to get back into, but I don't remember the password, and that email no longer exists. The email... 3 data breaches. One of which is a May 2013 Neopets breach. Or sorry, May of 2016. That email address was breached in MySpace, breached in Neopets, and what is this? Sentient credential stuffing threat data. This is the one that I am focused on. Email addresses, passwords. If I could find, I don't know where on the heckin' dark web you go to buy data breaches. How do I get this breach in particular? Is my question. Because I don't need much out of it. I really only want my password for that account so I can get back into my own account. How do I buy back my own data? We're in that same boat. My old Neopets account is probably worth a bunch now. Several dollars, I tell you. WTS Neopets breach. But that's my thought. I'm just catching up with pre-bubs, and I might use that in the future. It's the time in my life beforehand. The pre-bubs era. Log in. I don't need a Neopass. I think I have another old account. How to find out. Has already been migrated to Neopass. Oh no. My chupacabra. And how original. Do I have food for you guys? Feed. No! This is the thing that kills me. Now I get to share with you what a terrible Neopet owner I am. Man, I do miss Explore Neopia. Are we still doing the same thing? Yeah, I miss having the map that you just click on and go places. Can't feed your cult members or Neopets. No, you're right. Papa, please. I has not eaten 1700 months. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna click on the cheeseburger because that's likely where I can shop for some food. You can find food randomly over the site. It does happen, so keep trying. Sorry, we are sold out of everything. Unbelievable. Where's the giant omelet? Ever stocked general store? Can I have food? I have like no money. Oh, this is the worst. Little town JPEG is so iconic. Alright, well, that's that. We are now at the top of the hour, and that brings us to the end of our time together this evening. Appreciate them preserving some of the GeoCity-esque vibe. Yeah, honestly. It's a good vibe. Yeah, boop. You're very welcome. Thank you guys so much for spending this time going over and listening to me just blabber on about the Fediverse. I am in love with the concept of decentralized, self-hosted platforms that can be supported regardless of what happens. Oh. I hear a Ra, or I see a Ra. Hello. Welcome to the end of the show. Ah, I will do that as soon as we have ended the stream. I'll watch it in here, actually. But thank you for tuning in, and listening to me blab about the Fediverse for a while. I appreciate it, and I hope that it may have inspired some people to check it out. And also make a space hay, unrelated to the Fediverse, but a lot of fun. I will see you all not next week. I have surgery next week to have my remaining wisdom teeth removed, and I will be recovering next Friday. So no stream next week, but stay tuned for what we have planned the week following. I think I probably wrote it down, but I'm not on that page right now. Never mind. Yes, I am. We'll see. We'll see what's there. I'm not going to give it away. So we will see you again in August, first Friday, which is the 7th. Until then, stay awesome. Be well. Love you all. And we'll see you in a few weeks. We'll miss you too. Toodle doodle. Hashtag what are they doing behind the bushes?